Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain and I am your guide to wisdom. This is day 27 of our trek, and today and tomorrow we are going to look at the 12 trails of life where we can be infused with courage. We will cover the first 6 today and the remaining 6 tomorrow. We cover a lot of topics, many of them in series of steps that cover multiple days. So if you've missed any of the episodes, please subscribe at Wisdom-Trek on iTunes or Stitcher, or listen to it on Wisdom-Trek.com. We're recording our podcast today from our studios in the Home 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina. As we're wrapping up the week, we'll be heading to the big house in Marietta, Ohio, to maintain the lawn and to continue our internal renovations. We are excited to get back for a week and to finish up the downstairs room off the kitchen, which we always referred to as the eating area. It was actually the milk porch when the house was originally built. We should also be able to move into the room directly above the eating area, which we always referred to as the sun porch, but now it's being renovated into our new office. We converted the downstairs office to another bedroom where Paula's mom stays when we are in Marietta. So let's begin the trails of courage and see how we can apply them to our lives. First trail is the trail of personal responsibility. Courage gives us the strength to take personal responsibility for our actions. You can't always control your circumstances, but you can always choose how you will respond to each situation, regardless of how difficult it is. No matter what the challenges you face, you can have the courage and power to make the ultimate choice, which is whether to let the world impact you or to go out and impact the world. Resist the impulse to blame your woes on others or other situations of life, but instead to make the decision to own your life and be fully responsible. Courage is seizing the day and accepting responsibility for your future. Trail number 2, the trail of living with integrity. Courage gives us the strength to live with integrity at all times. Integrity is the only path in life upon which you will never get lost. Placing integrity at every step of the trail, with every decision you make, requires a willingness to do what is right above what is convenient or politically expedient. At times, this means veering off the safe and comfortable trail onto one that's less traveled. By taking an alternate trail, the risk of failure and disapproval may run high. At all times, living with integrity calls you to forge your own trail. At its core, integrity is about wholeness and alignment between your deepest values. It will control every decision you make and every action that you take. Integrity calls forth courage and greatness. Or as M.H. McKee put it, wisdom is knowing which path to take, integrity is taking it. Trail number 3, the trail of seeing new worlds. Courage gives you the opportunity to see your world from a new perspective because you will be unwilling to settle for how life is today. You usually will not see the trails of life or the world as it is, but as you are. Too often we settle with answers to life's questions because we do not have the courage to ask new questions. We consent to those who claim to have a monopoly on truth. The fact is that none of us has a monopoly on truth. We just own our own version of it. Well, personally, I feel that all truth ultimately was created and comes from God and can be found in His Word. But I am not naive enough to think that I have a corner on the truth market, and neither should you. We all should continue to study to gain wisdom and truth. Have the courage to ask yourself and others the difficult questions about life. It does take courage to question your own assumptions and beliefs, which we have been living up to until now, and opening our minds to alternative perspectives. Doing so opens up new possibilities for yourself and your life that you otherwise may never have seen. Ultimately, being willing to challenge your stories unleashes you to have the courage to experience life in a whole new, more exciting and meaningful way. When patterns are broken, new worlds emerge. Trail number 4, the trail of bigger dreams. You will never be able to have your dream job nor live your dream life unless you first find the courage to dream big enough to identify what it is. Dare to create a vision for your life that is bigger than the one that you've had up until now in your relationships, your career, and your life in general. Don't let fear keep you from connecting to what it is that inspires you most. The greatest danger is not that your dreams are too lofty and you fail to reach them, but that they are too small and you do reach them. It takes courage to grow up and to turn out to be who you really are. Your life is as big as you dare to dream. Trail number 5, the trail of authenticity. In a world that pressures for conformity, it takes courage to be who you really are. You need to gain courage to express yourself fully and authentically in every relationship and every encounter. You need to have courage to give up pretending to be more or less different than you truly are. When you fail to be authentic, you keep from others that which makes you most attractive. When you conform, all you have to offer to others is your conformity. So be genuine, but be humble and unpretentious. And most of all, just be yourself. There's nothing more valuable or attractive. And trail number 6, the trail of self-expression. Have the courage and dare to speak up, to give voice to your concerns, your feelings, your thoughts, and to engage in conversations that you've been hesitant to have before. When you have the proper courage, expressing yourself does not have to be done in an argumentative or aggressive manner. Have the courage to address an issue without worrying that it may be an awkward conversation or your request declined. You need to have a courage to have discussions with others, even if they may not agree. Otherwise, there will be unfulfilled needs, which, if left unresolved, will allow resentments between you to fester. Have the courage to speak up in ways that protects the honor and dignities of others while providing the means of building trust and deepen the quality of the relationships. It also enables others to know who you are, what you need, what you care about, and what you are capable of. Croft Pence put it this way: outward expression shows inner experience. We will look at the remaining 6 trails of courage tomorrow, but let's look today at some practical wisdom from the Scriptures. On our wisdom trek yesterday, we saw that Gideon could use a dose of courage. He tested God twice with the fleece, and both times God showed him that his courage needed to come from him. We see in today's passage that Gideon's courage needed to be much stronger. While the Bible does not give us the number of Midianites and Amalekites that came to fight against Israel, based on other scriptures it is estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands. This would far outnumber the 33,000 that Gideon was able to assemble. As we read from Judges chapter 7, verses 1 through 7, we see that God had a much different battle plan in mind. And it goes like this. So Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, and his army got up early and went as far as the spring of Harod. The armies of Midian were camped north of the valley, near the hill of Moreh. The Lord said to Gideon, "You have too many warriors with you. If I let all of you fight the Midianites, the Israelites will boast to me that they saved themselves by their own strength. Therefore, tell the people, whoever is timid or afraid may leave this mountain and go home." So 22,000 of them went home, leaving only 10,000 who were willing to fight. If you think that's bad, see what God had planned for Gideon from here. So we continue. But the Lord told Gideon, "There are still too many. Bring them down to the spring, and I will test them to determine who will go with you and who will not." When Gideon took the warriors down to the water, the Lord told him, "Divide the men into 2 groups. In one group put all those who cup water in their hands and lap it up like the tongues of the dogs. In the other group, those who kneel down and drink with their mouths to the stream." Only 300 of the men drank from their hands. All the others got down on their knees and drank with their mouths in the stream. The Lord told Gideon, "With these 300 men I will rescue you and give you victory over the Midianites. Send all the others home." So Gideon collected the provisions and ram horns from the other warriors and sent them home. But he kept the 300 men with him. Wow, how could Gideon have the courage to go up against several 100,000 trained warriors with only 300 men? Well, we'll have to wait until tomorrow's podcast to see the outcome. That finishes our podcast for today. If you missed any of the previous podcasts, please check out Wisdom-Trek on iTunes or Stitcher or at wisdom-trek.com. Tomorrow we will see if Gideon is victorious or loses his courage and runs for the hills. And we'll also look at 6 more trails that lead us to courage. So please check into our camp tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. I encourage you to leave a discussion topic, comment, suggestion, or question about this podcast on our Contact Us page of the website, or email me at guthrie@venturecg.com. We'd love to have the interaction from our members. Also, please subscribe to iTunes or the player of your choice so that Wisdom Trek will be downloaded to you automatically each day. We also have a subscribe to podcast page at wisdom-trek.com. And please leave us a rating on iTunes and Stitcher. This will help to spread the word, allow others to see us on those platforms. And if you would, spread the word to everyone you know to join us on our Wisdom Trek. I do thank you for listening and for inviting others. You can read the journal from today's podcast at wisdom-trek.com, where we also have wisdom nuggets and free resources. As we take this trek together, let us always remember to live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy the journey, and create a great day. See you tomorrow.